fourth set of the day is going to be played on Akilon Wastes. Spawning up in the top left-hand position, the winner of the previous game. His name is Jangbi, spawning in as the blue Protoss for Samsung Khan.
His opponent being sent out after Bisu, trying to deny Jangbi's second kill of the day. His name is Rain, playing for SK Telecom Team first.
You know what? I want to talk a little bit about the overall lineup for SK real quick here. Bisu's been performing a lot better, as we saw in those first two games, and even though he lost against Jangbi, he still had a decent showing. He didn't look terribly weak in that matchup. Well, I want to say decent because there was a lot of opportunities for him to get ahead in the game, but he just fell slightly short.
Oh, only in that game?
Yeah, only in that game. The first two he played amazing.
I thought you were talking about the overall feel of Bisu today. I'm like,
overall,
decent.
Overall today, Bisu did amazing and exceeded a lot of people's expectations.
Yes.
So I hope that we see more of that from him in the future. That is what I would hope to see, because then we really just see that power Protoss lineup from SK Telecom with Rain and Harding being pretty consistent overall. Harding actually not doing as well in Pro League as I thought he would, but he's still doing good in the individual leagues, which is something important to point out. And Rain, of course, solid as ever. Then they have people like Best and Brown that are still able to support as well from behind. And let's not forget Paralyzed, man. He's in Code A right now, and he's doing quite good.
Rain also made it to the round 3 of WCS Challenger League, defeating Yonghua 2-0 after being dropped out of round of 32 by Innovation.
I remember Yonghua being hyped up by Artosis a lot
well,
recently, but
if you're hyped up by Artosis, you know what's going to happen.
You know what's going to happen. The
Sorry,
Artosis
Dan.
curse happens, unfortunately. But
So both players opening up double gas and Cybernetics Core. We don't see a second gateway out just yet for both of these players.
Most likely, I've noticed that Rain, he likes to favor that Stargate tech a lot. He will go for the Stargate a lot of the times when he gets sent out. Jangbi, he can do all sorts of things. I've seen him do pretty much everything at this point. Rain's still capable of doing a lot of different strategies, though.
I have to say, Jangbi favors Twilight more than Stargate from all these PvPs that we've been seeing.
Yeah, I would agree
a little
with you.
more than Stargate.
Yeah, Rain, I think, favors the Stargate. Jangbi favors the Twilight a little bit more.
Twilight does put a nice pressure against your opponent, but Stargate is a really solid opening by all the Protoss players out there. You could defend against any timings as long as you can scout what your opponent is doing on time.
That's true. Look at this. We have a proxy pylon from Jangbi here. We can't see it right now because we're focused on the coaches, but we'll have a shot of it in a second here. Up there, and look at that proxy. Proxy Stargate from Jangbi here. So it looks like he wants to get very aggressive on this map earlier on. And Twilight Tech from Rain, so pretty much opposites of what the players are generally used to doing here. But you got to mix it up in PvP. Jangbi went for the Twilight last game, so why not go for the Proxy Stargate this game? And this broke scouting around the map as well.
The callers are right, just making sure that the players are correct. And yeah, Rain just scouting around to see if there's any proxy pawns around the map. But if he scouts it well, then he's going to find something more than a proxy Stargate.
He's going to see that, and he's going to be like, oh, well, I have Twilight Council, bro. All right, well, the Stargate is scouted. He does see an Oracle on the way here. Rain, he's going for the Blink Tech, so that's going to put him in a solid position against the Sky-based army from his opponent, Jangbi here. He's just going to have to move back and defend. This pro getting taken out will not scout the Twilight Tech here. So we have that Blink on the way. We have 2 additional gateways going down as well for Rain. He's looking like he's in a solid position. This Oracle is not going to be able to really deal much damage.
So it's going to walk inside the main base and not going to do anything at this point. There's 2 Stalkers, 1 Sentry out. Jangbi is building a second Oracle, but I have a feeling it's better for him to like actually mass up a little more Oracles than go for it. But he's going to try to make the best out of it right now with a single Oracle, but only gets 2 kills.
That's actually really bad for Jangbi here. He has invested a lot. Look at that, even canceling his second Oracle in the Stargate there, realizing, well, that wasn't really worth it. I don't know what I was thinking here.
Now it's going to be a really tough situation for Jangbi. He's getting up to 4 gateways right now. The 3rd gateway is not going to finish in time, but he's going to be behind in tech. The Blink is already finishing up.
Yeah, it's very close here.
While Jangbi's Twilight is barely finishing up at this point.
It's true. I would like to actually see Rain go ahead and just kill off. Okay, he's sending a Zealot over there. He should be fine. He needs to get rid of any proxy pylons because, like we saw last game, Jangbi loves to, and he's doing it again right here, he loves to make those proxy pylons around the map and just send in Zealots during engagements whenever his opponent is not around the map. And it looks like we're seeing a hallucinated Phoenix here from Rain. He's going to scout everything from his opponent.
And
he
that's
knows
the key.
about the blink. That's very key here. I just love how safe Rain is playing right now.
He knows about the blink. He knows about the fourth gate.
He does.
That's the biggest thing. It's like some players might transition into 3-gate blink pressure after the 4th Stargate by going for the 4 gateways. That's like saying, well, I'm going to try to end the game on 1 base, or if I take an expansion, I'm going to be behind.
Notice how we see Rain scouting around the map continuously throughout the game here. It's 8 minutes into the game. He's still scouting for those proxy pylons. He's going to miss this one over here, just barely, but I like that he's still moving around the map. He may eventually find that pylon, and you know what? I think this may just start to be more of a consistent thing in PvP. We have probes being sent out constantly throughout the game, trying to put down proxy pylons and scouting for their opponent's proxy pylons.
Especially it happens on a map like Akilon Waste, where you can hide so many proxy pylons around the map, so that it's hard to scout for those little things. Now, Rain is down on 1 gateway, but it doesn't matter because he has better tech. He's going for the Nexus. He is well fortified. Jangbi, he needs to make something happen, but he's getting a robo for himself. I think it's better for him to take an expansion right now, but Rain does not see a Nexus right now.
He doesn't see any Nexus there. He's still going to go ahead and get his Nexus. Snipes off that Stargate finally there, and he's going to send out his Stalkers now, potentially looking for those proxy pylons on the map here. That's a good decision. I like that from him, and we have an observer on the way from Jangbi here. Just both players are essentially on the same tech right now. You know, getting those Immortals out, getting the observers out, moving into a robo-based play with the blink behind it.
Same tech for both of the players, but do remember, Rain is still far ahead in this game compared to his opponent, but Jangbi is slowly catching up.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's not like he's in an unwinnable position or anything like that, you know, because Rain can't actually kill him right now. So that's why he's gone ahead and taken the expansion. He's focusing on his tech, but supply-wise, Rain is slightly ahead. Now, if this observer gets sniped, that could be very nice. Smart moves from Jangbi there. He does reveal the blink, but, I mean, Rain already knew about that, so not the biggest deal in the world.
Throughout the whole game, Rain has been, like you said, playing really safe. He could have gone for the counterattack, but he didn't know how many Oracles were actually out on the field. So he's like, well, I could go for the counterattack and win by lose all my probes and actually allow Jangbi to come back into the game. So I'm just going to stay solid and make sure I don't push out.
That's exactly what he should be doing right here. Jangbi thinking about getting a bit aggressive over here. He could blink to the backside of the base. We've seen that before in PvP here. And we have the robotics bays finishing for both players here as well. We're going to see the Colossus tech come out very soon. He has Stalkers moving forward there, and forward blink from Rain, but Jangbi does a forward blink of his own and gets out of there. Well, I guess backward blink.
Phoenix also scouting around the main base. There we go. It almost looked like he was going to miss the scouting at the last second.
And notice that Phoenix Scout, it sees the forage timing, it sees the robotics bay finishing up here. No Colossus on the way just yet for Jangbi here. He does have that tech path available to him, though. He's getting a forge of his own right now. We're really seeing just mirror builds at this point, despite different openings.
Yeah, well, Jangbi does have less economy at this point because he lost the Stargate. His Nexus was slightly delayed. That's the reason why we don't see the Colossus right away after it finished, because he wants to catch up in the Forge. He doesn't want to be falling behind in the upgrade wars because it's going to be a Colossus versus Colossus.
That's true. It's going to be World of Worlds, guys. We're going to have EDM laser light shows, double robo all the way coming across the sky for Rain here, and Stalker's moving in there trying to do some damage, but they are not able to breach the whole of that Immortal's shields.
I love how Rain's playing this game. So solid, just defensive. Even if you look at the main base right now, those Stalkers, they were over there for counter blink.
Well, and look at this. He's going to take a fast third behind this as well, and you know what? He can get away with it.
He can get away with it, yeah.
He can do it.
So he put the Stalkers in the main base for the counter blink. He destroyed the rock, so he knows that the Stalkers can't be over there. He doesn't have to keep those inside the main base anymore. Take a third base, and Jangbi cannot touch it. So what does Jangbi do?
Takes third.
Follow it up with a third base of his own.
You've been saying that you've really been enjoying Rain's play this game. Well, I got news for you, S&M. Jangbi's been pretty much playing the same way, so you got to be having a great time here watching both of these players play the same game from opposite sides of the map.
Well, Ray's unit positioning was a little bit better. Let's put it that way.
All right, I would agree with you there. And he did scout the proxy Stargate as well. He hasn't scouted the proxy pylon, though, towards the center of the map, a little bit more on Jangbi's side.
Well, it doesn't matter at this point because given how Rain's playing, those Zealots aren't going to do anything in this game. Except maybe a little bit later into the game where Jangbi just decides to sneak in a Dark Shrine and then sneak in one DT into the main base.
I also want to point out that Rain is still currently ahead in supply. Jangbi going for the earlier Templar tech, though. That's actually quite early for Templars, but if you're going for that fast third, I guess you can afford it.
Well, it does get scouted, so now that's also going to prompt Rain to go for it. Templar tech, but did I just see that?
Yeah.
Did he miss the range?
I think he actually canceled it.
I think he either forgot about it or
he may have forgotten about it. That's a little bit odd, though, that he would do something like that. Nice moves from Jangbi here. Going to try to even out the supply a little bit here, sending those 4 Stalkers in. And nice trying to send them to the main as well. They will get deflected, but they at least are able to, poke in there, do a little bit of damage, and just be overall annoying.
Yeah, but I'm still worried for the range right now because Jangbi, he's going to get the range out. And when it comes to the main battle, if Rain doesn't have out on time, then he's going to lose the battle, and he's going to be wondering, why did I lose the battle? I was in such great position, and I still lost in the end. This wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to realize at this point that his Colossus do not have a lot of range right now. But he's
right here.
I mean, you got to know at that point, if Rain doesn't get the range upgrade at this point, then I don't know, man. I think it's just a huge oversight from him.
Uh-oh. There we go. He starts the range right away.
All right. He's getting the range, so he'll be okay. And neither players are going to attack each other at this point as well. They're just being very defensive. A little bit of harassment here and there from Jangbi, but it's not really accomplishing too much here. We already have additional +2 attack upgrades on the way from each player here. Overall, though, the probe supply is the same. Unit count across the board pretty similar. Rain a little bit more ahead as far as Colossi and Immortals go, but really everything is still very close at this point. I actually love the idea to get that cannon there. That's going to keep the Observer away as well.
And Jangbi's playing so defensive right now while Rain's playing so defensive right now while Jangbi, he's trying to put constant pressure on his opponent, trying to scout when the fort base is going to go down with the Blink Stalkers. So this is time where he tries to throw away those Blink Stalkers while trying to do as much as possible. Behind this, Rain looking towards getting a fort base right now with additional gateways.
It's true. I like the decision to get that 4th base. I was actually just thinking, you know what? Neither players can actually really kill each other right now. So why not go for that 4th base? We could see a big attack, and the positioning will determine the victor here. But it can still go either way. Just really depending on that positioning. Nice moves from Rain here. He's moving forward here. He gets a few kills off on 2 of those Stalkers here. Doesn't really lose anything. And also something big to point out here, Rain has charge. He's going to get Archons out. His Thermal Lance just finished. And the charge will finish very soon here for Jangbi, as well as his +2. Rain already has +2 himself.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure about the main army composition right now. Behind this, Rain is taking a 4th base, so this is just trying to scare his opponent back inside the main base, saying, I don't want you being active with the Stalkers anymore. I want you to stay inside the main base. Maybe I'll get some free kills on your probes and Stalkers, but even if I lose them, it doesn't matter because I secure the fort base.
He can just replace those Stalkers with more useful things anyways here. And a bit of a skirmish. Uh-oh, Rain's Archon's out of position here. That's actually a big mistake from him. He is so lucky that he will not get punished for doing that. Because normally that's kind of the point where it's like, oh, well, your unit's out of position. I can just attack you now. The Warp Prism on the way here for Rain, though. He is maxed out, as well as Jangbi. Both players getting their 3rd attack upgrade as well. No 4th base just yet from from Jangbi, but he's looking to get it soon here.
Rain can actually win this battle right now. There was only 3 Immortals for Jangbi, or 4, while Rain right now has up to 7, has more Archons than his opponent, and now adding in the Dark Shrine.
It's true. It looks like, though, Jangbi, he wants to go for the attack here. Rain needs that perfect positioning. He has that Warp Prism as well, in his, but it's not with his army right now, so he's down 4 Zealots, 6 supply, or 4 Zealots plus the 2 supply from the Warp Prism. So this attack from Rain will force Jangbi to move out here, but everything looking very close except for the Immortal account, which Jangbi has an advantage in. And look at that, just a recall home. Not going to overcommit.
Yeah, not going to overcommit to it. And the Stalker's doing a nice job sniping one little more probes inside the third base, but
that's
just
alright at this point.
It's alright at this point even for Rain right now, because if he loses 2 probes, that means he's going to have 1 more Zealot.
That's true. Alright, well, this proxy pylon going to get taken out quite fast here. I'm waiting to see if we'll have the Stargate tech come out from both players here. The Archon count getting quite impressive, though, from Rain.
Well, Stargate tech switch is going to be really hard at this point. Only adding in 1 Stargate by Jangbi. Usually, if you want to go for the switch, you get like 2 or 3. But, you know, both players are dumping all of their gas into Archons, and Jangbi saving up a little bit more than his opponent, but that's only because his main army composition has a lot of Zealots.
Rain caught out of position here. Time Warp's going down, but he needs to fight when Jangbi's units are in the Time Warps now.
That's a lot of Immortals.
Counter Time Warp's going down. The Immortal count, though, looking very good for Rain here. Supplies are favoring our SK Telecom Protoss player with the charge out reinforcements. He's going to decimate this army and force Jangbi back. He may end up just winning the game right here. Those Immortals, man, they have just completely crushed through Jangbi's army here. He's getting routed, essentially.
Like I said, the power of Immortals. Rain had better army composition, and Jangbi decided to add him some Stargate units, but he decided to go for it too soon and had too many Zealots inside the main base. He's doing a nice job with these Zealots at the natural, but he already lost the game at this point.
Yes, unfortunately for Jangbi and Samsung fans out there, he did. The reinforcements from that War Prism there were so key in that fight there, and the Immortal count, like you mentioned, even more so than the Zealots there. That is really what allowed Rain to win that fight. His better unit composition. GG is called, and Rain takes game number 4, putting SK Telecom up 3-1 versus Samsung Kong.
I'm just a little bit surprised that Jangbi actually engaged into that first. Yes, Rain was out of position, but he saw the number of Immortals, and he should have actually ran away while only throwing away some Zealots into that main army. He had a lot of gas, so he could have turned every single one of those into Archons.
That's true. He could have gotten more Archons. I'm still kind of curious if we're going to see Protoss players get a few Tempests when they have 3 or 4 bases in the Colossus Wars. We're not seeing that quite yet here, but I have a feeling like it could evolve to that stage at some point in the future for Pro League.
I have to say it could only happen if you open up Stargate, and if you still have the Stargate in the mid to late game. Like, for example, Jangbi, he went with a proxy Stargate, but it got taken out right away, so there was no reason for him to build a Stargate in his main base at that point.
Well, the way I was thinking about it is, all right, they're maxed out on 3 bases. They're getting their 4ths right now. Why not put up 3 Stargates, start your upgrades, and get that fleet beacon down? And, you know, start the trade a few units here and there. Get out, you know, like, I guess 4 or 5 Tempests to snipe down the Colossi.
It's not a bad way to play the game, bad way to play PvP if you can buy enough time. That's the biggest key.
Time is the key.
Yeah. If your opponent knows what you're going to go for, then they just counter right away and win the game.
And then in the maxed out wars, it's very unit composition based, and having that extra supply or 2 makes a huge difference. So
with Samsung Khan down to 1 last player, who is it going to be?
It could be. It looks like it's Reality getting sent out here. I had a feeling it'd be Reality, but the problem for Reality is Rain's really freaking good at PvT, in case you guys haven't seen his games before.
I have to say, Samsung Khan was depending on Roro today to go for multiple kills, but with Beast sniping him right away. They're sending out all these players, and yes, they are fantastic players, but their opponent is going to be Rain.
Indeed. So guys, Rain versus Reality will happen in set 5. Don't go anywhere. We will be back after this commercial break.